April 11 is the date for the initial partial amount, Mr. Chair. Thank you.
Yeah, that's good enough. That's good enough. We will meet again next week, to update. And just to repeat, and to update everybody, the Marina has already issued a Marina has already issued a cease and desist order the day after our first meeting, because this is our third meeting, and we asked the Coast Guard to coordinate with you, and that's a good thing to report, that there is already a cease and desist order issued against the ship owner, so that the other vessels that they have would have to be reviewed. Yes, two others.
2 tankers and 1 passenger vessel.
Okay. And all, yeah, grounded for further assessment and evaluation. So that's one. Number 2, DENR, again, as a result of this first meeting, has already initiated the administrative case against the ship owner for the determination of its liability under the Pollution Act, which could lead to a daily penalty from the time the unfortunate incident happened. And this matter would be decided soon, because next week the position papers would have been submitted, and the regional office of the DNR will make the necessary recommendation to the Pollution Adjudication Board for the final determination of that matter. Third, the Philippine Coast Guard and the Marina are in the middle of investigation, fact-finding investigation, and we have directed them to further broaden their investigation, widen their investigation to include all stations, because this vessel had traveled so many ports, to so many ports, even without the necessity, without the needed certificate of public convenience, right, Marina?
Yes, sir. In fact, Marina has completed its initial investigation on the shipping company based on the show cause order issued before, and a resolution has been issued finding probable cause to file a formal charge to the shipping company. As to the other show cause orders issued to the shipyard, the classification society, and the marine surveying companies, the preliminary investigation will be resolved soonest, and we will see if it also warrants a formal charge. Based on our existing rules and regulations.
Okay. How about those officials, the ones who did the assessment, the review of the documentation submitted, the one who assessed the seaworthiness of this vessel to check whether or not it complied with all the safety requirements, whether it is old or new, whether it is reconditioned, refurbished, etc. All those people should be named in that comprehensive and more complete fact-finding investigation, which must be submitted to the BIR, which would have to make the final recommendation, plus all the requirements, insurances, whatever it is, CPC applications. How was it possible for it to be voyaging when in fact it had no CPC, Certificate of Public Convenience? In other words, parang kolorom ito, di ba? Wala siyang lisensya to operate, and yet it had been operating at least on 8 voyages. And that would lead us to the request to the Philippine Coast Guard to also include a more comprehensive report. Although we understand na mayroon na silang casualty and safety inspection, safety reports. Yes. But it should also cover all ports of call. Lahat ng pinuntahan nito. And it should not only be the boarding parties, yung mga pumunta sa loob. Kasama din of course yung station commander, yung district commander. just name all of these people based on your staffing pattern or your hierarchy of positions. What they did, what they did not do, and what omissions or commissions that they perform. Because eventually, after we have dealt with the actual salvage, which is the root cause, yun ang unang pinag-uusapan natin gawin eh. Kasi we prioritize. For the past 3 meetings, ang priority natin kasi is the salvage of the vessel. And we're glad to say na the insurance company has undertaken to choose an internationally accepted, an international salvor with long experience plus the equipment based on the information from Philippine Coast Guard about the matter. So we should include all the names, what they did, etc., and kindly give all these necessary documents to the Coast Guard, to the NBI for collating and assessment later. Because that could then lead to a coordination with us under our case build-up rule for the filing of the necessary cases against those responsible.
Actually, last 20 March, we issued a subpoena justice TECOM to submit all the to show us the original documents, the documents they submitted prior voyage. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And among those submitted, only 2 were Xerox copy, but yung decision po na Marina hindi kasama. Yung under investigation po namin. So, the CPC, yes, sir. The amendment for the CPC, sir. Yes, sir. So 31 ang kanilang deadline. So hindi na submit, sir. So yesterday I wrote the RDC another letter giving them 24 hours to show us anong marina decision ng hawak nila, sir.
Thank you.
Plus, of course, sir, yung mga affidavits ng mga shipping agents nila. Actually, we have 4. 4
Yeah.
of the shipping agents.
Kindly kindly give copies of those data, those results, reports, and the affidavits to the NBI as well.
Yes, sir. The original copies we have, sir.
makuha. And we will meet again, ha? We will convene again. So yun ang timeline natin. April 12, Wednesday dito, 10 o'clock, 10 o'clock, para makapag-update tayo ng bawat isa sa atin. And we need to write the letter immediately to the insurance company for them to expedite the contracting of that international salvor, para 1/2 of the problem and the root cause of the problem would be solved by us. We could either bring up the stricken vessel, the sunken vessel, or at least siphon off yung remaining oil niya doon. And we wouldn't be doing estimates anymore kasi straight na from the source of the problem yung gagawin natin. Once ma-resolve natin yung issue na yan, then logically we go to the determination of the extent of the damage, where we can make the claims now against the insurance funds na yon, based on convention and based on contract. After that, then we will make the determination whom to file, whom to charge, what cases to be filed, etc. But meantime, may we ask the DNR to really expedite the decision on the Pollution Adjudication Board so that there will be a daily penalty on the ship owner for the spillage from the time the incident happened up to the time that the water quality would be restored.
Yes, Mr. Chair, we will prioritize.
Okay, so all of those things clear na rin. Yeah, Marina?
Mr. Chair, and as for additional information, earlier it was mentioned that Marina was not able to provide documents requested by the NBI. We'd just like to put on record that actually we provided, based on reports submitted to me, that we provided copies. However, we're circulating all documents that should be certified true copies, because we have to understand that we get all the documents from our 3 regional offices. So I was informed it would be ready anytime. Actually, it was supposed to be ready last Friday, so I was checking what happened. But anyway, we'll provide, sir, all certified true copies of documents. As to the ongoing fact-finding investigation by the Marina on its officials and personnel, we wish to provide assurance that management will really pursue any formal charge should the fact-finding investigation and the process provides a probable cause to really file formal charges to our officials or employees who are found to have lapses or negligence in the performance of their functions or duties.
Thank you, Deputy Admin. That statement should apply also to Coast Guard and to the other agencies, because we have to put a stop to this. This is a crime against against the future of our children. Environmental crime ito, and we are treating it as such. We're not looking at it. Kaya nga we are trying as much as possible to avoid using the word accident ito eh. Because na ginamit mong accident yan, magiging negligent act lang yan eh. And we would be effectively making a conclusion that is not based on evidence. And as we have issued a new circular in the department, yung case build-up, we are making sure that before we file anything, the case would be ready to stand on its own, and there's a reasonable certainty of conviction. So, yun. That's why we're taking all this trouble of coordinating with you, and we thank all of you for finding time. We will meet again on the 12th at 10 o'clock, and kindly give us your updates by then so that all of us would be able to address this problem and to stop the bleeding, so to speak, the hemorrhaging of our national patrimony. So yung draft na yun, sir, isulat mo na lang, padala mo sa amin, kahit i-viber mo sa akin or kay ASEC Miko, and if it's sent to us with our conformity, the secretary or I could sign for the department, just to show that your demand to the insurance for them to expedite the soonest what they ought to have done, to have undertaken 3 weeks at least para magawan yung actual salvage. But to give credit where credit is due, the efforts undertaken by Philippine Coast Guard are commendable. Same thing goes to the DNR, DOH, BIFAR, and to a certain degree, Marina. But yun lang comment na yun kanina, Deputy Admin, when the NBI reported that to us kanina at the start of this dialogue, that they needed to have your legal department clear this document first. We are a one government effort here. Isang bangka lang tayo, isang side lang tayo. Huwag nang magtaguan ng papeles. That's the directive given to all agencies present here, that the NBI is the focal point sa lahat ng dokumento, because they will collate all the data given based on the reports and then submit them to us so that we could coordinate with them and make the necessary assessment whether the evidence that we have is already adequate in terms of documents, the witnesses, real evidence available, etc. Admin, ibigay niyo yung lahat ha, pati yung mga applications for licenses, who these people are. Kindly check also who are the real owners, if these owners appear not to be the real ones, if they're just fronting for some people.
Yes, sir. Mr. Chair, actually, that's why I was surprised earlier, because I was present when the administrator gave instruction to provide the documents. That's why I tried to check what happened. But definitely, sir, will provide. That's why voluminous yung documents, because it will start from the acquisition up to the last operational documents, and there are a lot of documents.
Yeah. Because you know that the NBI had a different finding, ha? That it's not new. That's why medyo we should take a look again at those documents. The veracity, the authenticity, the truthfulness of the facts stated there. And that applies also to the Philippine Coast Guard, sir, about yung ongoing retrieval, yung mga latest videos nyo. We have to stress the importance of Coast Guard and DNR because it is in your hands that the claims against the insurance would be determined. Yung mga dokumentong kailangan nila, and we should have to inform the general public na hindi lang Mindoro problem to. Kasi other fisher folks and families or LGUs who are affected also would have the right to claim. Thank you.
Vice Admiral Patrimonio to provide us with the process of claim and how the money is going to be released in accordance with what you were sharing with us earlier on how the insurance policy will work and who will be the custodians of the fund and how it is to be applied to the losses incurred by the people in the government and the environment. And whose name will the checks be? And so that we know the accountability of everybody here with regards to the repair effort or the effort to rise from this tragedy that has befallen our country. Ano na lang, last na lang, no? I'd like to ask the NBI to make sure that the reports are submitted to us prior to the meeting on April 12. The first reports on the building of the ship and the other matters that have been found out by the NBI to be submitted to the DOJ before April 12, our next meeting, so that we can confront anybody who has not been telling the truth with what we have, so that we can get to the bottom of what there is in this tragedy.
We will comply, sir.
Sure, sure.
Sir, so next slide, ma'am, please. Ito po, yung red na to po, these are as shown, stronger discharges po. Ito po yung out of the surveys po yung pula. Tapos po yung green, those were targeted. Sila po kasi yung, ito po yung green, yan na po yung may bag ngayon, sir. The gray ones, intermittent, pabugso-bugso. Then, opo, yan po yung mga discharge points, leakage points. Next slide, please, ma'am. Yan na po, there is no longer, yung lahat ng strong discharges po are already bagged. May nakalagay na pong bag, sir. Opo, sir. So this is the progress that we would like to share. Next slide, ma'am, please. And then the rest po, sir, 13 kilometers being cleaned now. And then, meron pong oil sa surface aside from our attempts talaga on offshore, pero ito yung mga updates po natin. And then yung sa Batangas po, sir, na ni-report nila earlier, has been cleaned already as of this date. Kaya we have, next slide, ma'am, please. Ito naman, sir, alternative fishing grounds. We were told, kasi sir, we will also regulate the fishermen. The BFAR has already determined alternative fishing grounds for our fisher folks in the vicinity.
When you say alternative, that means to say that these are free from the oil contamination. And is that part of the area where you gave a fishing ban?
Sir, I
I believe, sir, yung area po is sa Marinduque na yung i-request nila.
Meaning?
Bali po, ang request po is for Marinduque, yung province of Marinduque to allow yung fishermen natin na from Oriental Mindoro to fish po dun sa waters ng Marinduque.
Okay. So, just to confirm what you said, Admiral, all those sources of oil spill, cracks, as determined by the ROV that we have on site, all of these cracks are already bagged. Meaning to say, naka-cover na siya, waiting for the ROV that has the capacity to salvage the vessel.
To recover the oil, sir, or siphon the oil.
Yeah.
Sir, as shown in the illustration a while ago, tinarget muna natin yung mga discharge points na malakas. Yun po yung pinakita kanina na naging successful yung pagbag sa kanya.
So hindi lahat ng cracks na coveran.
Or the seepage points. Kasi sir, yung described na intermittent, yun po yung block.
Okay.
Bulwak, sir.
Yeah.
Inuna namin yung, ito po yung slide na yun, sir.
Yung
Opo,
tuloy-tuloy.
Yung tuloy-tuloy, yan yung inuna po, sir.
Okay.
Kaya yung red po, sir, wala na pong naka-red na color dito, basically. Yun lang po yung aming gustong i-emphasize. At tuloy-tuloy po yung aming planning kasi procedural po siya. So as we go along, we just continue and continue. Makakaasa naman po kayo ang Coast Guard with our partners will continue.
Ito yung Japanese ship.
Yes.
Japanese
Japanese
ship. Tapos
ship yan.
yung US ship, sir, in fact, yung ROV nila, interestingly, did the cutting, sir, of the rails para, sir, in
Madaling
preparation
ma-access.
for the bags.
Madaling
sir.
ma-access.
So may capacity yung hydros na ROV po ng US, sir. US Navy in particular.
How about the fact that in that area daw, that was the reason that you gave why the human divers with special equipment could not go down dahil the current was strong and then it's turbulent. Would the strong current and the turbulence affect the capacity of those bags to stay in there and stop the spill?
I suppose, sir, that's part of the assessment done by the experts. And at least we can see in our videos the reaction of the bags underwater. But I'll get back on that, sir. Basta, sir, may masusi naman pong proseso para malaman.
So it's pretty clear that our PCG, the Philippine Coast Guard's immediate thing to do, point of action, would be to write a letter to the insurance company in London, copy furnish the local lawyer here, and it would be with our conformity para alam nila na this is an interagency task force to address this issue.
Opo, sir. Sir,
Okay.
that ends my presentation. The rest are ways forward. It can be presented next time in the
All right.
meeting.
All right.
Salamat po.
Thank you.
sir.
And are there any more comments or suggestions? Anyway, we will be convening again, as I said, and as mentioned by the good secretary, April 12, 10 o'clock, same place. All right? Thank you. Good morning.
Larangan mo siya. O, tara na.